Joining us now is a man who knows this process as it played out in Colorado. He's the former Colorado GOP chairman of Councils of Hale-Westphal. Ryan Call joins us now. Ryan, great to talk to you. How are you?
It's great to be with you and your listeners this morning, Laura. Thanks for having me on.
I keep coming back to this just general sensibility about all of this, is that at a time where the Republicans are so fractured, and it really is, for the most part, an anti-establishment mood within the party. That's why Rubio went down in flames. That's why Jeb couldn't get any traction. That's why Kasich is still lower in delegate count than Rubio. That these outsiders, as they're called, are still managing to capture the imagination and the spirit of the people. But if at the end of all of this, people just have an overall sense that if you're a Republican voter and you vote, it really doesn't matter that much, how much damage do you think that will do to the Republican brand or reputation going forward?
That is a great observation, and it's a concern that I feel overwhelmingly as well. At the very time where we should be opening up our doors and being more open and transparent and welcoming people into our party, we've essentially made the decision to close it off and make it more cumbersome and more difficult, and to prevent the ability of people to have their voice heard in the process. You're reinforcing all of the very worst stereotypes about the party, and I frankly, I'm really concerned about the way the voters are going to feel. In a swing state like Colorado, for example, even if Ted Cruz or Donald Trump ultimately become the nominee for president, while we've been able to make our pitch to the 3,900 delegates at the state convention, there's 1.5 million registered Republicans that haven't been talked to, and there's almost 1.5 million unaffiliated voters, independent voters, that are key to deciding the context in the battleground state, and we haven't done any work in a state like Colorado to build the campaign infrastructure to engage them or allow their voices to be heard. And so the message we're sending to voters broadly, the way this process is going, is that your vote doesn't matter and your voice doesn't count.
But people think, like, this is Iran? Like, you get no choice. You get no input. So it's just a smell test. It's a bad smell. And it's horrible for the party. And Ryan, before we let you go, if you're the chairman of the GOP, when you were chairman, someone sends out Never Trump hashtag from the party, what would you do to that person?
Well, obviously, if we come that is a party staffer, they'd be gone in our heartbeat.
Apparently it was.
The challenges have been, well, they ought to be fired, because the party needs to maintain at least some semblance of neutrality, even if the system they put in place doesn't appear to be.
Ryan, we really loved having your explanation. Thank you so much for joining us. Ryan Call is a former GOP chairman in Colorado, explaining what happened, and no primary, no caucus, no vote.